Hey, it's the Rooster, Bobby Leach for the TimesWeekly.com. There's a little question that conference rivalry games always spark fan interest, but when you add the fact that both schools come from the same town, well, the records and stats you can throw out the window. Plainfield North traveled to Plainfield South last Friday night wanting to prove that giving up a 20-point lead to Pekin in Week 2 was a fluke. And they made that point clear early and often. North quarterback Zach Tuzek used his arm to put the Tigers ahead for the first quarter when he hit his senior receiver Chris Mack in stride for a 65-yard strike, and then it appeared the route was on. Using a running attack that featured 4 backs in rotation, largely due to injury, North jumped out to a commanding 34-7 early third quarter lead. But just like taking a stick and swatting at the hornet's nest, the Cougars drew a line in the sand and went on the attack. South quarterback Cody Voda led his team up and down the field like a general as the Cougars slugged their way back and used the final 10 minutes and 35 seconds left in regulation to pull off one of the greatest comebacks this sports writer has ever witnessed. The Cougars' offense was stable by the performance of senior running back Josh Harris, who was one of many emotional leaders that made big play after big play to help his team claw back. And with a minute 42 left to play in regulation, Voda found Harris over the middle to knot the game up at 34 apiece, ultimately forcing overtime. In that overtime period, Harris again came up big with a 2-yard scoring plunge that put the Cougars on top for good, 41-34. When North did get the ball back, Cougars senior linebacker Clifton Garrett dominated as he had done much of the second half and forced the Tigers to look to the air for a score. That final drive ended with the Cougar defense intercepting the ball in the end zone and the south sidelines rushing the field in celebration of their amazing win. For North, the loss was the second such blown lead in as many weeks, but according to North coach Tim Kaine, it will ultimately test his team's character, which he was confident they would pass in the coming weeks. That's a tough loss, tough way to go down.
Yeah, 2 weeks in a row we've lost a pretty tough one. Obviously we got a good job. So you can't make mistakes like that. You can't have a blown coverage and give them big plays on a couple of different drives like that. We had some injuries that obviously hurt us, offensively and stuff in terms of different things that we could do. So it was just a rough deal.
How do you build back from this? 2 weeks in a row like that, where's the confidence come back? What do you do on Monday to get that confidence back to close some of these games out? Because every game is going to be tough in the SBC this year.
I think you just got to keep doing what we've been doing. You got to work every single day to get better. And, this game's over. The game's over. You learn from it. You try to keep getting better, and you try to learn from your mistakes so you don't repeat those same types of things. I think obviously it's going to test your character, and our kids got to respond and be tough, hard-nosed kids with good mentality. Keep playing hard and keep believing that good things are going to happen.
Talk about your sophomore quarterback, too. A little bit, early confidence for him. He gets that nice touchdown pass. He's got a good running attack. You got a couple of really shifty backs, small backs, but quick. That combination's great.
Kuzman got hurt, and then Baker got hurt, so that hurt us a little bit. Yeah, he's doing a good job. He's obviously a sophomore, so you have a few things here and there that don't go exactly right. But he's doing a good job out there, throwing the ball and running the offense and stuff.
Talk about Garrett a little bit on their defense. He was really plugging holes and laying the lumber there, especially late in the game.
Yeah, late in the game when the game was online, he did a great job for him. He really did. Got off blocks, played hard, made some huge stops for him, no doubt.
Hey, guys, just talk about how important that game was. You stepped up in the second half. In the first half, they were kind of taking it to you a little bit. They were getting around, but then whatever adjustments you made at halftime, you were able to take it to them and brought the lumber in the second half, and then you got going too. So offense, defense kind of thunder lightning them and blew them away there in the fourth quarter.
We just basically told them that we had to go out that halftime defense, that we had to step things up. We had to change a few things around. Coach made the different assignments. We executed them. We came out with a great outcome.
Their
running backs were kind of small.
Oh, yeah.
Did you feel bad hitting them that hard?
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all.
Because you're awfully big and they're awfully small.
Oh, no. I don't feel any regrets about that at all. It's football, baby.
Big win.
Yes, sir.
Josh, talk a little bit about tonight. After the Lamont game, you had a big Lamont game, and last week a little bit of a letdown, especially at home, got all that momentum. Here, this come from behind win. Is this what you need to get back on track?
Well, we knew that when it came to conference games, we had to step up. We came off that rough loss, and all week. We all prepared. We prepared as best as we could. And during halftime, we all went in there, and not for a second, nobody on the team gave up. We all knew exactly what we had to do, and we knew we just had to go out and execute, and that's exactly what we did.
Were you frustrated at all during that first half? I mean, you couldn't get going, really. I mean, their linebackers were getting on you pretty quick, and it just didn't seem to be any holes, especially off tackle for you. You couldn't beat that last guy.
Of course, it was frustrating, but I knew that my team would have my back, and everybody was going to do their responsibility, so I just have to do my responsibility.
Clifton, talk a little bit about too. Like, look, man. I mean, how many games have you played for South? How big is this win? I mean, just in terms of, have you been on a Cougar team that's come back from four scores in the fourth quarter?
This is the biggest game I've ever played in high school. I mean, this game was huge for us. I mean, we know at halftime we had a huge deficit to come back from, but we never at all gave up on each other. We're a family all week. We've been talking about standing together, executing. That's exactly what we did tonight, and I'm proud of my guys.
Cody, what a great game for you guys. I mean, but first half, it was a tale of two halves. I mean, the first half they took it to you guys. They got some good big plays, and once your defense settled in a little bit, and then you were able to break containment, get to the outside, buy yourself a little bit of time, and leave yourself options, either throw the ball or run the ball. Yeah. And once their DBs started coming up on you, open up some holes downfield and you hit your man.
Yeah, definitely. Our defense, I mean, they buckled down. We told them they're a big physical team. They run the T. They came out and stuff we've never seen before, but they were still running the ball right at us. And we got smacked in the mouth the first half, 28-7. I mean, but we came out at halftime and we were just talking. We had nothing to lose at all. We were down 3 scores, go out and play, and we came out and played and put up,
4 scores.
30-some points in the second half. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's got to feel good. I mean, you got a lot of players around you. I mean, your defense yourself, Clifton Garrett, big game for him tonight.
Definitely.
But Harris, Josh, you've been able to rely on it, Josh, and you guys got like you make eye contact with each other, and he breaks off his pattern. It just seems like you guys have got a rhythm going. How important is that going into the SBC? You got a lot of games left here.
Definitely, yeah. Me and Josh have been playing since we were like 5-6 years old for Pop Warner and PJC and stuff, and I don't know, we've always had that kind of chemistry. Like, if I get in trouble, he's always there to slip out and make a play, and he did that.
Coach, probably was a little disappointed. You guys were probably a little disappointed after, Wheaton last week. But, non-conference game, beating a conference rival, beating Plainfield North on your home field in the way that you guys did it. What do you expect to see from them now when you got to go there?
Oh, man, I don't know. I can't even tell you. The crowd, everything, it's just like, I don't know. What are you talking about next week with us?
Yeah.
Last year they came out and beat us by 5 points. They had a whole team of juniors and sophomores, so this year it's the same team as we played last year. And we know that
But you're going there this time,
yeah,
so
definitely. So it's a whole different ball game, definitely. I mean, we couldn't have done that without our home crowd. You saw them. It's one of those games I can't even explain. It's not going to be the same as next week, but we still got to get it done.
It's a confidence boost, though. I mean, now you can point to this game and say, hey, we're never out of it.
Mm-hmm, definitely. I mean, yeah, you come back from 3 scores like that, you can't ever give up like that, definitely. I mean, we were down 20 points going into the fourth quarter and put up 26 to win the ball game, and it was just...
Hey, come on now. That's got to be the best career win that I've seen you as a head coach. I mean, to come back in the fourth quarter down 3 scores and to do it the way you did it. I mean, you didn't do anything fancy, anything special. You just played hard-nosed football all the way to the end.
We made some plays, and I don't think we made as many in the first half, obviously. And hey, Plainfield North's a good football team. I mean, they just took it to us. We had to kind of get our bearings back because I think they had us reeling backwards. We finally got ourselves together. When we got a couple scores back to back, our guys felt it. They felt some confidence. We made the plays that we needed to make. We got some great effort from our defense, and combined, we had the momentum going into the overtime. We were able to carry it over for a win.
Talk about Vona's character right down to the end there. I mean, he was able to buy some time, got to the outside, was able to make plays, on the outside. Once he broke containment, he had a chance.
Exactly. And what the nice thing what Cody always brings to the table is poise. He doesn't get shook. He doesn't lose his mind. He's very, very controlled, very focused, and that paid a lot of dividends for us tonight. And he made some big plays. There's no question about it.
Clifton Garrett, man, was he laying the lumber in the second half? He was a little quiet in the first half, but in the second half, boy, did he lay the lumber for you.
And it's plays like that energize everybody. And it's a confidence builder, it's a momentum builder, it's an energizer. And those are things that we were able to do and help us get to this point where we were able to win this game.
Gut-wrenching a little bit as a coach to go up and down. Lamont, big win. Plainfield North, big win. Last week, kind of a letdown. What do you got to do next week to not let that letdown happen, especially in the SBC?
Well, first we're going to enjoy this, and then we got to get back to work tomorrow. And we'll get it down and get it ready to go and and just we got to be conscious of where we're at and how those games start. And we can't put ourselves in a hole like that.
How many times are you going to win like this and not forget it? This is a pretty good win.
It's a great win, and I'm real happy for our kids.